Oh, what's up, Philadelphia sports fans? I am Anthony Pinto. Welcome to the War Room. We are War Room Philly, coming to you live. Sixers pregame. It's going to be a short and condensed show tonight. We're going to run the 2-minute offense. And so here we are. It's game 2. It's a must win. And other than that, feel free, chat, to bring in any of the other sports talk that you'd like to talk about. Wheeler on the mound tonight. But as far as what I got, it's Sixers, with giving the fact that it's a shortened show. But, there's a lot going on right now, so we can talk a little bit of anything. However, there are more going to be for the shows in the near future, as far as things that I have planned. But as always, chat, you're the host. You tell me what to talk about. But, like I said, here we are. I'm not sugarcoating. I thought game 1 was a must-win. The fact that Kyle Lowry's out again gives me some hope that maybe you can still split it. Come out here 1-1, because either way, Joe Hunter, I see you. How you doing? Either way, it's... Even if you thought, all right, game 1's a must-win, and, even if you thought they could have won game 1, no one thought they were going to go up 2-0, right? So, all right, split the differences. You have to win tonight if you're the Sixers, because if you come out of this 1-1, no matter how it happens, you came out of this 1-1. That's the goal. That's the objective at hand. And so now the Sixers pretty much have to figure out a way to do that. And you still have in a way 3 stars out there on the court. You have Harden, you have Maxey, and you have Harris. And between the 3 of them, you're going to have to get at least 75 out of those guys. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? That's the answer. That's the $1 million answer. Who knows? But if Harden, Maxey, Harris give you 75 points combined, I think that's gives you a lot more of a chance to win. Your 3 biggest players are going to have to shine tonight. Defensively, you have to tighten things up. I don't think that you're going to allow certain players to get hot. But for people who just think that the Miami Heat aren't capable of staying as hot as they were in game 1, they are. The defense has to tighten up. DeAndre Jordan continue to becomes a focal point as far as his lack of defense. My biggest thing with that is what else do you have? I mean, if you start Paul Reed tonight, how much of a difference does it make? Because he's still going to end up in foul trouble, and regardless, DeAndre Jordan's going to be on the court tonight. Paul Millsap has arguably been worse than DeAndre Jordan. Now, if you want to go Bassey, all right, I get that. I at least haven't seen it. I'm willing to work with it. I'm not going to argue against it, at least. But yeah, this is just it's going to be a tough one. I got to be honest with you. And in my heart, I don't really know that they can do it. The Heat are a damn good team. Where my hope comes from is the fact that Kyle Lowry is out as well. However, you saw, I don't even think they dusted off Duncan Robinson in the last game, and he was going off in round 1. So So it's tough. What up, Mitch? Defense definitely needs to be locked down tight tonight, and everyone on the Sixers needs to step it up tonight. That's a good point. I focused in on, the three. I'm calling them the 3 stars for tonight. It's Maxey, it's Harris, and it's Harden. But if you get 9 or more from Danny Green, you're cooking. If you get anything from Matisse Thybulle, what happened to the drives to the net that Matisse Thybulle and James Harden were hooking up with? Thybulle's offensive game has been kind of just MIA. And I'm talking about a player who already was offensively challenged. But he started to find, dare I say, a niche in this offense when James Harden arrived. And that niche was, instead of trying to just shoot threes from the corner, now I'm going to drive to the net. And it was working. And I don't know if its defense is adjusted and they caught on to it or what have you, but that hasn't been working. A lot of things just have not been, they haven't been clicking for this team. Niang, you're finding that the speed of this game in the playoffs, it's hard for a player like Niang to get, to contribute in more than a handful of minutes. And guess what? What we knew all along about this bench, even before the Harden trade, we are seeing now that the Sixers, they were lacking depth last year, and they brought the same team back. Oh, Georges Niang, that's your big signing. Outside of that, what is difference from this year's bench to last year's? Paul Millsap, again, a player that's not even playing. There's no key contributors on this bench. And again, Daryl Morey needs to be put on trial for that. Because forget that everyone can talk about the Harden trade and that, how great it was. Or not was at this point. But he needs to be put on trial for just completely ignoring the bench in this offseason. Shake Milton back. Furkan Korkmaz, 3 years, $15 million. Should be put on trial for that contract as well. This is a team that we already knew going into this. It was an inadequate roster. Now, take down your biggest player, your MVP. It is what it is. And again, the Doc Rivers hate, I don't really get it. I don't personally, I like continuity. I'm all for bringing them all back. If they lost in the first round, I would have been wanting a lot of heads to be fired. I'm not even using this, Embiid as an excuse. I don't want to see another coach get bounced. If you look at teams that are, and look, this is just me. If you want Rivers gone, by all means, you do you. That's fine. I'm not telling anyone how to feel. By the way, what up, Joe? We got both Joes in chat. It's always good when both Joes are in chat. Me personally, and I'm not here to defend Doc Rivers, but given what I just said, he's not really working with a ton. Philly, as I say, I believe that's Nick. I never liked the Harden acquisition. Guy is overrated at this point in his career. Yeah, you gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond for him. The Harden trade is the least of my worries. That was probably the best thing that Daryl Morey can do as a Sixers GM. But even before that, he still should be put on trial for the things that he did in this offseason. Now, to your point, and again, Phil Lee, I think that's, I'm pretty sure that's Nick, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I know on the fly I start mixing up Twitch names. To your point, now is Harden playing at the level that we had thought he could, or not that he, look, no one thought that we were getting Harden in his prime, But my God, we thought the dude would give us 30 here and there, right? Especially if Joel Embiid was gone. You're like, yo, be the dog. And it's like he wants Maxey to be the dog, or he wants to buy it. And it's like, dude, we didn't get you here to make those guys better. We would hope that you being here would be a byproduct of that. We got you here to be the facilitator and all, I don't know, drop 30 to 35 and every now and then. But if you look at what Harden's done, he's been good. 22, I think, is his average for scores. He's double digits assists. He's been good. That's the problem, though. We need Harden at least every now and then to be great. And he really, outside of those first 5 games in the 76ers uniform, has not been great. He's been good, not great. We need to see James Harden be great tonight. If the Sixers have any shot in hell to win this series, James Harden has to be great tonight. Plain and simple. Chat has been going nuts while I was on my little rant there. There's a lot of hate for all Philadelphia managers in chat. Russ in chat. What up, Russ? Doc had 15 straight winning seasons, a championship. Now, just to start, this sounds like Russ is defending Doc, and hey, all opinions are welcome. I merely was saying I don't think he, I guess I was defending him too. It is what it is. Let's go into it. Russ seems to have something here though. Doc's had 15 straight winning seasons, a championship, a runner-up, many snake pit playoffs with Chris Paul, and he's only 59. My only gripe with Doc is I believe he needs to play press D quicker. Okay, so he needs to play press D quicker. Okay. Yeah, no, Russ, I'm, again, I think that, you could have done a lot worse in the, oh wait, this isn't the cold water chat. Hold on. It's a fresh one. That's a good backup, but you wouldn't even be able to see that. That's a cold water right there. Where are we at on time? All right, we got like 9 minutes, 10 minutes left. I guess we can go probably till about 7:35 tonight. That's probably when tip-off goes. Here's the deal, chat. If the Sixers are lining up, just let me know so I can wrap up, because I want to watch the game just as much as you. So as far as the Doc Rivers thing goes, look, I don't want to make tonight just about Doc Rivers, this and that. Why didn't we get Hamilton? I'm not even sure. Are we going into baseball now? I got a million names into my head. We still have no. We're talking Eagles. Yeah, we'll get into the Eagles later. We don't need to talk about the draft right now, Joe. I got 9 minutes. And oh my God, you hang like, because they thought differently than you, Joe. Get over it. So as far as tonight goes, again, my main point for tonight, just going into it, is if the Sixers are going to win, Maxey, Harden, Harris have to give you a combined 75. If they do that, the Sixers win. And then, I forget, at this point, I forget who it was in chat. Oof. I think it was Nick, or I forget. Someone said we need everyone to step it up, not just those guys. And I kind of agree with that, too, because, look, you saw against the Raptors that night that Danny Green got hot and gave you, 12 or 15? Like, that was a huge boost. When you get, double digits or more out of these role players, it means a lot. And look, without Embiid, everyone does have to step up. I know it's cliche, but it is what it is. You don't have the MVP of the league in your lineup. If you want to, if you want this guy to have a chance when he gets back in, You got to win one tonight. You have to steal it. It's a must win. I said it. I said game one was a must win, but the fact that Kyle Lowry is still not out, you knew you weren't coming out of Miami 2-0. So game two just becomes that same must win. I thought if they got out to game one, the series became a lot more of attainable as a win. It's a lot harder winning game two. But if you come out of Miami 1-1, and then you potentially get Joel Embiid back Friday, who knows? The thing about Joel Embiid coming back is, he's gonna have a broken face and his thumbs messed up. Like, you're gonna have at best 75% Joel Embiid, and the fourth quarters are gonna be a struggle for him. So the Sixers are still going to need, all of these points that I'm making tonight are still going to hang in the balance when Embiid gets back. Everyone on this team has to step up at this point. And I got to be honest, chat, I don't know that they can. I just don't. What I've said about Harden, he's been good. We need Harden to be great tonight. I shouldn't feel like 30 is more attainable for Maxey than it is Harden tonight. And I'm not here to bash James Harden. I'm just telling it like it is. You heard me earlier defend the trade. Like, anyone that says that wasn't a good trade is, in my mind, it baffles me. Andre Drummond not coming back next year. You essentially, and Ben Simmons, what were you going to get for him? You weren't going to get anything close to James Harden anywhere in the league, especially next season, much less this one. Tonight is the Danny Green game. I'd love to say, I feel like that game in Toronto that I was talking about was the Danny Green game, but hey, why not have one? Dare I say, oh my God, maybe he has one in another series. That'd be fantastic. I could see it, though. I really can. I agree with that. Tonight could be the Danny Green game. Because while I still I'm gonna hang my head on it, 75 out of the 3, you're still gonna need it somewhere else. Is it Danny Green? Is it Shake Milton? No. Is it Thibault? Is it no? Is it Paul Reed? Who knows? It's not Furkan Korkmaz. So, excuse me. And I think the Sixers, while top heavy, have one of the best rosters in the league. Future Hall of Famer, center, 3 essentially all-stars, are rare defensive talent and thrival. I'm disagreeing with this point, Russ. 3 championship pedigree. Danny Green is a waste of $10 million on this roster and has been all season. He's playing his best ball now, but that's because he knows another payday is up and he's trying to steal money from another team. God forbid it's the Sixers again. Niang is a pro. That's pretty solid. I guess I can agree with that. But that Niang, let's call Niang what he is. Niang can shoot, but he's so slow he can't play a lick of defense. It's really hard to play Georges Niang in the playoffs because he's so slow. B-Ball Paul has some sneaky upside, maybe. I can agree with that. Still very doable. They might have to steal one tonight, though. No, they definitely have to steal one tonight. If they want any chance of this series, they have to steal one tonight. Furkan going for 35. Nah, that's just false. Furkan shouldn't even play 35 seconds tonight. So, yeah, that to me the Sixers, this roster's not as good as you made it out to be. Danny Green is there. Danny Green's making $10 million. Do you know how much more productivity you can get out of a roster spot than being an essentially a bench coach? Nah. Don't give me. Danny Green's playing his best basketball of the season. That's as positive as I can be about Danny Green. Danny Green sucks. Can't wait for him to be off this roster. Can't wait to have $10 million freed up to get a real basketball player here. I'd like to see them give Bassey more a run. Over DeAndre Jordan at this point, I'm for it. Look, you're going to have to play DeAndre Jordan at least a little bit, but if he's getting roasted and toasted, you have to go somewhere else. You have to go somewhere else. Paul Reed's nice. He's going to get into foul trouble, though, so, Paul Reed's not going to be able to give you the full amount of minutes, so you're going to need to go Paul Reed. You're going to need to go DeAndre Jordan, and I think, I'd be fine for Bassey at this point. I don't know that I trust Millsap, so I'd go Bassey over Millsap. I want Curry back. That was a big mistake. Yeah, but see, first off, Curry's there next year. He's already signed, and it's like that's all good to say, but like you have to remember, you have to give something up. They gave up James Harden, a player that they could have brought back next year under the option, just like the Sixers are planning to do. Like this, you have to give to get. So the whole notion that Curry was a good player. James Harden's a great player. Now we need to see him play great. That's got nothing to do with the trade. And yeah, Curry on this team would have been great. But the deal, do you honestly think that that's the first deal that Daryl Morey went to the table with? I'm sure he tried this. I'm sure he tried that. I'm sure he tried all of those scenarios that you're making up in your head otherwise. But guess what? That's the one that did it. It takes two. And don't get me wrong, again, I would love Curry back, but he's there next year. Glad to see it's not me getting yelled at. I don't think I'm yelling. I'm fired up. It's game time, so I'm just a little fired up tonight. It's a short show. It's like I can keep my foot on the throttle the whole show, knowing it's just a half hour. I don't have to pace myself. So I'm just going mile a minute. That fast, huh? This is an NBA. Yeah, exactly. Joe, that's. In fact, it's kind of hard to do some trades in NBA 2K. But no, you're right. It's you need two teams. Just because the money works out doesn't mean. Personally, I would have loved to give Ben Simmons and Danny Green for James Harden straight up. That money worked. But guess what? It didn't work for the Nets. Because they're like, hey, I'm not going to give you James Harden for Danny Green because Ben Simmons might not play this year. And guess what? He didn't. So I don't know why we're going back to that trade at this point, but I guess it's just because, hey, there's the spotlights on Harden right now, and rightfully so. Look, I'm giving it both ways here. I tell it to me how it is. I don't play too far to either side. James Harden, while I just defended the trade, and I'll do that until I'm blue in the face, needs to give you at least 25 tonight. But hell, let's see 35. Why can't you drop a couple 35 bombs for us, dude? Is it game time yet, chat? Just think where we'd be if we gave up Maxey. Yeah, Joe, perfect point. And let's roast me. I said, and I'll probably still defend it if I have to. I said I was willing to give up Maxey and Simmons if it meant getting James Harden. So when you think of that, yeah, okay, I'm much better off with giving Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, who both would be helping you right now. Absolutely. But guess what? Even with what I'm saying about, I still think Harden is helping you more than either of those two would. And that's good Harden. That's not even great Harden. which, again, we haven't seen since his first 5 games here as a Sixer. We need great Harden tonight. We need to see James Harden, his best performance as a Philadelphia 76er has to be in the matter. It has to start in the matter of minutes. It just has to. What hangs on it? Oh, I don't know. The season. Would I give Harden an extension? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because even as what I see him going into the future, if you put him, Embiid, and a team together, I think you got a two-year window after this year. I don't know how many years. I'm not going to give him like a ton of years, maybe. But yeah, and I also think that, and maybe I'm wrong, I tend to think that James Harden is trying to win a championship, so I think he may even be willing to do a team-friendly deal. If you go back and listen to his press conference, his intro press conference, it sounds like the only reason why the extension hasn't signed is because he wants to see what he can bring here to the Sixers first. But yeah, I don't want to talk about next year, even though it makes a lot of sense, because I don't have a lot of hopes for this series. But look, I'm still a fan at the end of the day, so I am holding out hope. And you know, I think that there's some legitimacy behind it, other than the fact that I'm wearing a Sixers. Like, I think that, you know, my hope isn't just fueled by my Sixers fandom. Again, Harden, dare I say, is due for a huge performance. Let's see it tonight. You're in Miami, you know, have some good food, get some good cooking in you, and let's go. Three years would be ideal, Joe. I think he'll probably get 4 to 5, but it's the money that'd be a little different there that I'm close to. Harden 35, 15, and 10. If you get that, the Sixers win tonight. Because if you get that, I'm confident enough that Maxey and Harris can fill out the rest of that 75. If Harden gives you 35, I think between Maxey and Harris, you get at least 40. Because if Harden's giving you 35, it means and if he gives you the assists too, what did you say? Be 15 assists, or is it assists first or rebounds first in NBA? I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's assists to last. So if he's getting 10 assists, that means he's hooking somebody, you know, or some buddies up. Well, at least Embiid will play. Hey, Dart, may the fourth be with you. But yeah, I think the Sixers are about to tip off. Even though none of you have let me know yet. So I'm gonna get rolling. It's been a fun show, chat. Thank you guys for tuning in and hopefully getting a little hype with me. Again, look, I don't have a lot of hope, but you see, I'm still fired up. I'm still gonna hang on every hoop. So I and what is there the hope? The hope is that the 3 stars come out and play in Miami tonight. 75 points out of Harden, Harris, and Maxey. You go back home 1-1. That's all I can ask for. That's not all. I mean, that's what we need. So, with that, chat, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a fun one. Sorry we couldn't really dive into sort of the other sports, but the good thing about like the Eagles draft is we can talk about that, you know, for several months and you know, going into the season. So we'll keep the Eagles talk going moving forward. And you know, as far as the Phillies, well, again, that's another one that we got so much time that it felt like for 1 week we could kind of just stash it away and do a half-hour power going into Game 2 tonight. And what we all agree, no one disagrees. It's a must-win. So, with that, guys, enjoy the game. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/WarRoomPhilly. Search us on YouTube. Follow War Room Philly absolutely everywhere you can. We appreciate that more than anything. With that, I am Anthony Pinto, and we are out of here. Let's go, Sixers.